So okay, so we can get into today's class. So the first classroom stream I have posted about the syllabus. Okay, so this is your syllabus as per your Anna University Regulation 17. So in this syllabus, what are the things you will be seeing is that first starting with you will be seeing with your transmission line parameters. Okay, so regarding this transmission line, so you might have seen the transmission line. You know about the transmission line. So it is the basic structure of a power system. So generally, if you are seeing means, so generally, if you are seeing means, the last class, okay. So I have opened a Jamboard, okay, for your reference. So with this, so I'll be writing it. So generally, you might have studied about so electrical power systems. So electrical power systems we might have studied. So in this electrical power systems, it is one of the domain. It is one of the domain in your electrical engineering. Okay, so it is one of your domain in your electrical engineering. So there are many domains. Okay, so there are many domains in electrical engineering. So your one of the most widely commonly termed domain is your power systems. Okay, so power systems are nothing but, so first you have to know about what is a power system. So power system comprises of, okay, so your power system is generally comprises of power system that is transmission, distribution, followed by your generation. Okay, so it is based upon transmission, distribution, and generation. So here you can see it. So here you can see the things what you'll be studying. First starting with your transmission line parameters. So moving to the next part, you'll be studying about the modeling. Okay, so you'll be dealing with the modeling and performance of transmission lines. Okay, so after that, the mechanical design of lines you'll be seeing. So followed by the underground cables you'll be studying in the unit 4. So in the unit 5, you'll be studying about the distribution system. So your distribution system is alone a separate unit. Okay, so your unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4 will be dealing with your transmission part. Okay, so we'll be directly getting into the first lecture. So this is your first lecture. So in this lecture, what you'll be seeing is you'll be learning about the introduction to the power system. Okay. So what is a power system you'll be studying, we'll be seeing, and followed by the structure of the power system. Okay. So what are the main components in the power system we'll be dealing with. So followed by the transmission lines. So in this transmission line, so there are two types. We'll also be covering that. First is your overhead transmission line and followed by your underground transmission line. So this is the main focus in this lecture. Okay, so we'll be getting into it. So the first unit starts like this. So the introduction about your power system. Okay, so in general, your electric power transmission. Okay, so the electric power transmission means the transmission of power from generation side to your consumer side. Okay, so that is there will be generating stations like nuclear power plants. So in power plants you might have studied. So nuclear power plants, thermal power plants, hydroelectric power plants. So from those power plants, the energy will be generated. Okay, so this generated energy has to be dissipated to the consumers at the load side. So the primary task is of a power system engineer is to design, okay, is to design suitable uh, methods to dissipate the power from generation to load side. Okay, so load side here refers to the consumer side. So here uh, the generation of power is carried by the power plants. So in between the power plant and the load side, there are two main domains. One is your transmission domain and another one is your distribution domain. So we will be seeing about that. Okay. So starting with, so the interconnected lines which facilitate the movement of the power generation is known as the transmission network. Okay. So here in general, the transmission and distribution network is combined to form a national grid. So this is what an important thing. So that's a single national grid. So can anybody say at what frequency the national grid is operating? So can anybody say at what frequency the national grid is operating? So can anybody say it? At what frequency it is operating? Okay, I'll be telling it. So the frequency at which uh, it operates is 50 hertz. Okay, so that is, uh, for example, the domestic power what we are receiving for your house is 230 volt. Okay, so it is 230 volt. So this 230 volt is given at a 50 hertz frequency. Okay, so it is given at a 50 hertz frequency. So I'll be explaining at the last of it. Okay, so we'll be moving to the next slide. So power system, as I said, it is subdivided into three parts. First one starting with the generation, second one is your transmission, third one is your distribution. Okay, so the generation part is where we will be dealing with your nuclear power plants and various different types of power plants. Okay, for the transmission side, it is of two types. One is your overhead and your underground transmission. Okay, for the distribution side, it is based upon your substations. Okay, so in today's class, we will be dealing with the transmission. Okay, so here, most of the transmission line in common, it is a very high voltage. So high voltage in the sense means it will be in terms of kilovolts. Okay, so the transmission lines will be in terms of kilovolts and it will be of three phase. It will not be of a single phase, it will be of three phase. You already know what's the three phases. You might have studied in your circuit theory. So it is of RYB. Okay, so your three phase consists of RYB. So it will be symmetrical with each phase displaced by an 120-degree angle. Okay. So here, in some cases, high voltage direct current transmission is also used. Nearly in India, the high voltage HVDC lines are of four HVDC lines have been erected. Okay, and finally, this electricity transmitted at high voltages, as I said before, it will be in terms of kilovolt. Okay, Y means to reduce your energy loss. Okay, so in case of a long distance transmission lines, so you have to reduce your energy loss. Otherwise, what happens due to your I square R loss? So you might have studied the transformer in your machines. So whenever there is a current flow in a winding or a transmission line, sorry, winding, or you can take a transmission line, there will be some I square R loss. Okay. So in order to minimize that I square R loss, we will be transmitting with a very high voltage. Okay. So this is the layout of the power system. These are the components. If they are asking what are the components of the power system means, you have to list this out. So starting with the power station. So the power station, I have already said, it is where your power gets generated. So mainly it is of your power plants. Okay. So followed by primary transmission. So we'll be seeing about this primary transmission. So next is your secondary transmission. So followed by the distribution sector, which is starting with your primary distribution, and then it is of the secondary distribution. Okay, so we'll be moving on. So this is a general layout. So this is how it looks like. General layout of a transmission line looks like this. So here you can see the generating station. Okay, so here you can see the generating station. So it is nothing but your power plants. It may be hydroelectric power plant or thermal power plant or any kind of power plant. So regarding the power plant, you are already learned. So this is where the power gets generated. Okay. So after this generating station, you have to step up the voltage. So why we are stepping up the voltage, I have already said. Why we are stepping up the voltage means to minimize your energy loss. Okay. So it will be stepped up to 138 kV. Okay. So in terms of kilovolt, they will be stepping out. So from here, it will be given to a transmission line, and in between, so the transmission customers might be tapping out the power from this line. So why they will be tapping out means, in case of some industrial applications, they will be tapping out and they will be separately giving to the industry. Okay. So without any disturbance to the domestic people, they will be tapping the power from the this transmission area and they will be giving out to the some industrial applications they'll be giving. So moving to this, after this, moving to the next one part, what happened is that, so it will be about the distribution side. So this corresponds to your transmission side. So after this, it will be coming to the distribution side. Okay, so at the distribution side, what happened is you will be again stepping down your voltage. Okay, it will be stepped down. Okay, based upon the customer, it will be dissipated. The power will be dissipated through the substations. So the substation is where the power dissipation is decided. So how it has to be given to the customer is decided through this substation only. Okay. So we will be falling under the secondary customers. So we are under domestic loads. So we will be falling under the secondary customer. So for us, 120 volt to 240 volt is very much efficient. But in case of some industrial loads, what will be needing is will be need in terms of kilovolts. Okay. So next is the single line diagram. So the layout what you have seen in the previous slide is represented in terms of a single line diagram. Okay. So from the generating station, the 11 kV will be stepped down to 132 kV. So after this, this 130 kV will be stepped down and it will be given to the substation. So at this further end, we the consumers will be consuming the power. Okay. So this is how the power station looks like. So it is nothing but the EV substations what you have seen in your town. Okay. So generally, as I said, the transmission is through your three-phase, three-wire system. Okay. So there are two types of systems. One is your single phase and another is your three-phase. In the three-phase, there is again it is subdivided into two types. One is your three-phase system and there is your three-phase three-wire system, and another is a three-phase four-wire system. So in the four-wire system, it will be employing a neutral point. Okay, it will be employing a neutral. Okay, so here, due to the economic consideration, the generation voltage will be always 11 kV. You can even take any kind of substations, sorry, generating unit, any power plant you can take. So they will be going up to a maximum of 11 kV generation. Okay. So after this 11 kV generation, the stepping up of the voltage is done by the transformer up to 220 kV or 132 kV. So this is done in the power station, okay, with the help of step-up transformer. So this is how your power station structures will be looking like. So this is your primary transmission. Okay. So as I said, from the generation side, the 11 kV will be stepped up. Okay. So this stepped up will again will be stepped down. Up to this point, it contributes to a primary transmission. Okay. So this transmission can either be a overhead transmission line or it will be an underground transmission line. So more than 75% it will be overhead transmission line only. So why they are going for overhead transmission line? We will be seeing in the end of this slide. Okay, end of this lecture. Okay. So this is the single line diagram what we have seen there. Okay. So after this 132 kV, it will be step down to 33 kV. So this 33 kV to the substation of the distribution side will be contributing to your secondary transmission. So that's what here they are given. So up to this 33 kV, they will be giving your secondary transmission. So for this entire thing, they will be using three-phase, three-wire system. Okay. So next we will be seeing about the main difference between the overhead transmission line and underground transmission line. So you have to know about the overhead transmission line and underground transmission line. So overhead transmission lines are nothing but the lines which are visible to you. Okay. Here you can see from near our college itself you can see there's a very huge transmission line which is running from Virudhunagar to Thoothukudi. Okay, so it is Thoothukudi is where your load is, that is the main substation where your load will be dispatched. Okay, from there it is reaching to Virudhunagar. So it is a overhead transmission line. So apart from this overhead transmission line, there is also another one thing, which is nothing but your underground cables. So underground cables means the power will be transmitted from the generation point to the consumer through the underground cables. Okay, the wire will be moving through the underground. Okay, so here a comparison is given between overhead and underground transmission line. So here you can see. So first point is that fault location. So regarding the fault location, which is more benefit means in the overhead transmission line, it is very easy to find the fault location. Okay. So in case of any short circuit fault means it is easy to find in your overhead transmission line. But in the underground cables also it is possible to find the fault, but it will be taking more time when compared to your overhead lines. Okay. So next is the initial cost. So in the overhead transmission line, you no need of digging using the manpower or any machines. You can directly erect it. Okay, so it is cheaper also. But in case of your underground cables, you have to dig it with the help of some machines, very large machines. You have to dig it, so it generally becomes expensive. So next is the chance of fault. Okay, so fault location we have, which is more easy to determine the fault location we have seen. So next is the chance of fault. Chance of fault means I think with the probability uh, in which the fault might be occur. Okay. So as overhead lines exposed to the environment, the chance of fault is more. Okay, it is true because the environmental factors will be affecting the transmission line. For example, there might be some snow or some any other factors like a tree falling at the transmission line. Okay, so those environmental factors will be impacting at the overhead line. But in case of underground line, the environmental factors are not affecting you. Okay, so the safety, in safety point of view, your underground transmission line is more safer when compared to your overhead line because it is running underground. So the insulation will also be perfect. Okay, so the overhead transmission line life will be nearly can get up from 20 to 25 years, but in case of underground transmission line, it will be double. Okay, so it will be from 40 to 50 years. Okay, so moving on, regarding the appearance. Okay, regarding the appearance, uh, so because this overhead transmission line uh, occupies an external space. Okay, so it is not good in terms of appearance. Okay, so next is the maintenance cost. So the maintenance cost is less in terms of your overhead lines, but in case of your underground cable, you have to dig it and you have to find any kind of fault or any repair. Okay, so the maintenance will be more in your underground cable. Okay, next is the flexibility. So the flexibility of the overhead transmission line will be more flexible when compared to your underground. Okay, next is the very important thing, the conductor size. Okay, so this conductor size is the thing which determine your power transfer capabilities. Okay, how much power you can transfer through the transmission line is determined by this conductor size. Okay, so the size of the conductor is small when compared to your underground in terms of your overhead line. Okay, but in your underground line, you have to have a very big conductors with a very high insulation. Okay. So next is the interference with the communication line. So you know already the communication line. There are more communication like Geo, Airtel. Okay. So whether any kind of interference will be happening means the in case of your overhead line, this communication lines run along the transmission line. Okay. So the possibility of interference is more in your overhead lines compared to your underground cable. So regarding this proximity effect, so I'll be explaining in the upcoming class. Then only you'll be understanding it. Okay. So the application. So the causal system is slow. So hence we will be preferring overhead line than that of your underground cables. But in case of foreign countries, they'll be going for your underground cables only more because the government is ready to invest such a huge investment in the underground cables rather than the overhead lines. But when in our country, the more suitable thing is your overhead transmission line. Okay. So the possible questions that can be raised from this lectures are, so the main components from a power system can, they might be asking as a 2 mark. Okay, so this might be a 2 mark, followed by the differentiate between an underground transmission line and overhead transmission line. They will be asking as a, what you can say, as a 8 mark they'll be asking. Okay, so so that is the end of your lecture 1.